Where do things stand at this point?
Well, Paul, as you say, China's vice premier, who does lead the negotiating team from the Chinese side, will be in Washington Thursday and Friday for what are turning out to be absolutely crucial talks. These could be make or break conversations between the two sides. And the question really is whether or not the Chinese side goes to D.C. ready to make some concessions to address the concerns that we've heard about from Lighthizer and Mnuchin that were articulated on Monday evening, U.S. time, particularly around the enforcement mechanism and around things like intellectual property and around transferring those and baking those into China's legal structure. Or if the Chinese side go there playing hardball. We've seen a commentary from the People's Daily, the mouthpiece of the party, out just in the last few minutes, saying that China is confident that it can deal with these trade talk challenges. But the omens, to some degree, don't look good. We've heard in the past from the Chinese saying that they won't negotiate with a gun to its head. And we know as well from our sources here that China is preparing retaliatory tariffs if indeed the US goes ahead and hikes these tariffs from 10 to 25%, as they said they will do. We've also spoken to our team here, Lu Xiang from the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. We got a quote from him. This is a state-backed think tank here in Beijing. Lu Xiang saying, if the Trump administration follows through with tariffs, with the tariffs threat, it means, I think, talks will fall apart. We then need to prepare for worse than worst. That is from the member or a member of a leading think tank here in Beijing. So again, these are crucial talks that will be taking place in Washington over the next few days.
And Tom, is this tougher U.S. stance a sign that the hawks in the Trump administration now have the upper hand?
Well, it certainly seems that the likes of trade advisor Peter Navarro and, of course, Lighthizer, who uses or leads the negotiations on the U.S. side, are winning the argument in terms of taking a tougher stance. Even Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, who'd been seen as something of a dove, came out on Monday and told reporters that his entire economic team was supporting this stance on raising tariffs. And then you've got the noises and the voices from outside the White House, the likes of former White House strategist Steve Bannon writing an editorial, an opinion piece saying that even if there is a deal, it will be a temporary truce, I'm quoting Steve Bannon, in a years-long economic and strategic war with China. Then you've got the Democrats, the likes of Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, saying that it's time to hold out and backing Trump's stance on raising tariffs as well. Ironically, it's the Republicans, particularly from the farming states, who are coming under the most pressure. So, yes, the hardliners for now seem to be winning the day in Washington. But, of course, we do know that Trump is concerned about the impact on the markets. So possibly that will come into play at some point. But for now, this tougher, more aggressive stance from the US seems to be the position that is leading out and winning out in Washington.